Hello, class. Good morning. Welcome to Understanding Self Module 3. So, our lesson for today is about unfolding the social self. As usual, let's start with an icebreaker. So, I would like you to get a pencil and a paper and write the answers without um, without thinking too much about what you will be answering. So, whatever comes out of your mind first will be your answer. So here's our icebreaker. You are walking in a forest, but you aren't alone. Who are you walking with? Number two, you're walking in the woods and you see an animal. What kind of animal is it? Number three, what interaction takes place between you and the animal? Number four, you walk deeper in the woods. You enter a clearing, and before you is your dream house. Describe its size. Number five. Is your dream house surrounded by a fence? Yes or no? Number six. You enter the house. You walk to the dining area and see the dining room table. Describe what you see on the ground or around the table. Number seven. You exit the house through the back door. Lying in the grass is a cup. What material is the cup made of? Number 8. What do you do with the cup? Number 9. You walk to the edge of the property where you find yourself standing at the edge of a body of water. What type of the body or what type of body of water is it? How will you cross the water? You must cross this water in order to get home. So how do you go across that water? Do you get wet or not? So that's the end of our icebreaker. Later in our synchronous class, we will going to be interpreting our answers to that. So let us move on to our module, unfolding the social self rather. So the social self, the social digital self, and the material economic self. So let's go to the social self. Here are the intended learning outcomes. Explain, elaborate, and give examples of social factors that shapes the development of self. Create a conceptual diagram of how these social factors are intertwined and interactively influences their sense of self. And analyze and evaluate one's social behavior and identify ways to manage them. So the self and its social agency. Human development is influenced by important social groups that shapes different areas of life. So for example, everything that we believe on, our belief systems, our values, and our behaviors are all influenced by the social group that we are exposed since we are little children. So lahat yung families natin, yung mga naging kalaro natin, kung saan tayo nagkaroon ng mga experiences like in school, like in the church, all of those mga bagay like the social agencies na tinatawag natin are influences na nagkaroon ng influence sa ating belief systems, values, and behavior. So, ang first, of course, na agency is our family. We are born in a family, but as we go towards life, we will be evaluated on how we contributed to our society. Like yung laging sinasabi, kung anong naging ambag mo. Lagi din itong sinasabi sa mga beauty pageant, how you want to be remembered. So, at the end of your life, you will be evaluating yourself as well kung na gawa mo ba yung purpose mo sa life, nagawa mo ba yung dapat mong gawin sa buhay na 'to, yung mission mo in life. Also, yung quality of relationship. Even though you will have a lot of success, you'll also be evaluating yourself if you had good relationship with your fellow women. Like, maayos ba yung relasyon mo sa iyong mga magulang, sa iyong mga kapatid? Naging maayos ba yung relasyon mo sa mga tao sa paligid mo? And how we touch other people's life. Even though you might be successful in your life, pero walang tao na iiyak doon sa iyong funeral, your life will be evaluated at that na even though you have everything, kung walang nagmamahal sa'yo or walang taong iiyak dahil walang tao na naapektuhan dahil sa buhay mo, it will all turn into nothing. Parang nagiging vain lang yung life natin. So that is self and the social agency. So the first social agency that we will encounter in our life is our family. So it is the most influential social group that makes the biggest impact in our life. Dahil yung family natin, yan talaga yung nakasama natin. Sa kanila tayo walang filter mula nung bata tayo. And our first teacher will be our parents. Sila yung nagturo sa atin. In my case, ang nagturo sa akin kung paano magsulat is my father, and ang nagturo sa akin kung paano magbasa is my mother. Everything, like yung katulad ng pagtatahi, lahat, pagsusulat, pagdodrawing, lahat ng mga natutunan ko in my early years are influenced by my parents. Not only that, but also my moral values, like kung ano yung mali, kung ano yung tama. Kapag bata ka, syempre you are experimenting on things, and you realize na kapag napalo ka, ibig sabihin mali yung ginawa mo. And kapag na-reward ka, ibig sabihin tama yung ginagawa mo. So this is in line with a theory ng isang psychologist, si Kohlberg's. But of course, we will not be discussing that because hindi naman yun talaga yung topic natin. Next na mga influences natin is our siblings. Yung siblings natin, sila yung una nating frenemies. Diba? Sila yung una nating kaibigan as well as enemies sa bahay. So, naaalala ko dito yung pinapanood ko na series. It's way back 2015, pero ngayon ko lang siya napanood, yung Reply 1988 in Netflix, na natatawa ako kasi makikita mo doon that ano yung relationship ng mga siblings, dun sa community, and it's very timely dito sa ating topic about social agencies. Also, yung mga kapatid natin or dun sa mga only child dyan, maybe your cousins, na tumayong mga kapatid ninyo, you grew up together. So, itong mga tao na ito, they taught us socialization, kung paano makisama, paano makibagay, as well as conflict management. Na kapag nag-away kayo, paano kayo magkakaroon ng pagkakaunawaan ulit, paano kayo mag-meet halfway, compromise on things. Kumbaga, paano ninyo aayusin yung away ninyo bilang magkakapatid or magpipinsan-pinsan. Sa aming magkakapatid, we are 3 in the family. Deliberately, our parents talaga, binigyan lang kami ng isang kwarto at saka isang kama lang. Kasi ang paniniwala nila, kapag binigyan na kami ng tig-iisang kama, may possibility na 'pag nag-away kami, hindi kami mag-uusap-usap for a long time. So dahil iisa lang yung kama namin, iisa lang yung kwarto namin, wala kaming choice na kahit nag-away kami, kailangan namin mag-usap-usap kasi nga iisa lang yung lugar kapag matutulog kami. So hindi kami matutulog na nag-aaway-away. Yun yung itinuro sa amin ng parents namin at nung siblings ko rin as well. And then next, of course, afterwards, papasok na tayo sa school. And yung school natin not only influence us with the vast information na binibigay sa atin ng mga teachers natin and mentors natin, but also the way we speak, the way we dress, as well as the way we view our world. So for example, bakit kaya kapag narinig natin yung word na Ateneo, or in the Konyo term is Araneo, naiisip kaagad na konyo yung mga tao do'n, mayaman, magsasalita sila, medyo merong accent, maarte. Wherein the other counterpart, which is the PUP, yung medyo makibaka sila, ganyan. Bakit natatag yung mga tao na kapag nag-aral sa UP, ay aktivista yan. Kapag nag-aral sa UST, ay ganito siguro yung course niya. Bakit ganun? Because our school has a very big impact in our lives. Kaya, you have to be careful also kasi sometimes we post um, negative things about our school. So, kung saan ka man nag-aaral ngayon na school, it reflects who you are. So, kapag nag-post ka anything against the school, you're also posting against yourself kasi you are a reflection of your school. Therefore, kapag nag-post ka na negative about the school, binash mo yung school mo, parang binabash mo na rin yung sarili mo because part and parcel of yourself is an influence of your school kung saan ka man nag-aral. So, be careful dun sa ating pagpo-post. Mamaya pag-uusapan natin yan dun sa ating digital self. So, the way we speak, the way we dress, ako nung high school ako, kasi sa San Fernando ako nag-aral, kapag alam na alam mo kahit nasa mall ka, kahit na naka-outside dress kami, alam na alam mo kapag Assumptionist yung estudyante, alam na alam mo kapag taga Saints ko yung estudyante, kung Pampanga High School yan and other school. Kasi meron tinatawag na branding or identity yung mga estudyante doon that were influenced by the school kung saan tayo nag-aral. And then next is our community. So yung community natin, for example, kapag ikaw ay lumaki sa baryo, syempre, maa-adapt natin yung mga ugaling baryo like yung pakikisama, nagbibigayan ng pagkain, kahit mga ulam-ulam na mga gulay, kapag may nakuha yung kapitbahay, bigla na lang meron kayong ibibigyan. Unlike in the city, yung mga magkakapitbahay, minsan hindi din naman sila magkakakilala. So, also our practices, yung pagbe-bless. Nagulat ako noon sa Angeles City na hindi ganun kauso yung pagbe-bless dun sa other families. Pero kasi sa amin, in the town, dun sa mga mas hindi city na lugar ng Pampanga, malaking issue 'pag hindi ka nag-bless. Talagang masasampal ka 'pag hindi ka nag-bless, eh. Pero sa Angeles mas beso-beso lang sila. Parang kapag nagbe-bless medyo medyo hindi sila parang feeling nila, "Ay, ang tanda ko naman, huwag ka na magbe-bless." Gano'n. So, it is affected by the community. So, malalaman mo kaagad kapag yung tao, lumaki siya sa isang lugar na pinapahalagaan yung pagmamano, pero makikita mo din na kung yung isang tao, lumaki siya sa isang lugar where hindi masyadong ganun kalaking deal yung pagmamano, pero mas uso sa kanila yung pagbebeso-beso. Also, yung rituals natin, kung mas maaga bang nagpapasko dito sa Pilipinas, we are known as the country who celebrate Christmas the longest kasi nga September pa lang, nung September 1, 'di ba, sumilip na talaga si Jose Marichan, kumanta na siya kahit bawal siyang lumabas. Kasi rituals 'yon sa community ng Philippines, religion. Madalas makikita mo sa isang community, kung Baptist sila, yung mga namuno doon, madalas Baptist halos yung mga tao. Kung Catholics, Catholics halos yung mga yon. Kasi the community itself influence the religion as well kung ano man yung pinaniniwalaan natin. So, as a review, yung family natin, our parents, our siblings, our school and community influences, and there are our social agencies. So according to Edward Taylor, take note of this name, Edward Taylor, culture is the complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, law, art, moral, custom, and other capabilities and habits acquired by man as a member of the society. So if we will look into it deeper, sabi ni Edward Taylor, culture is everything. Lahat na meron tayo is culture. So take note of that definition by Taylor. And then next, culture has a great impact on human being and is manifested on their thoughts, behavior, and expression. So culture is relative and can vary based on geography, tradition, and individual context. Iba-iba tayo ng kultura. Kumbaga, iba yung kultura ng San Fernando, iba yung kultura ng Angeles, based on geography. So, iba din ang kultura ng Ifugao, iba ang kultura ng mga taga-Patag, iba ang kultura ng mga taga nasa bundok. Kasi iba yung geography nila, iba yung exposure nila, iba yung mga traditions nila. So, meron tayong collective culture in the Philippines, but you will see a relative or a specific subjective culture as we go or see through the communities Kumbaga kahit sa Angeles City lang titignan mo, iba yung kultura ng Balibago, iba yung kultura ng mga taga-Sapang Bato. Makikita mo talaga that there's a difference in the culture and magma-manifest yun kung sa paano magsalita yung mga tao, paano yung expressions nila, paano yung behaviors nila. Language na lang for example, sa dito sa Angeles, yung matarik is mataas. In Candaba, when you say the word matarik, it's malalim. Bakit gano'n? Kasi sa Angeles, dahil highland ang Angeles, therefore, pag sinabi mo yung matarik, mataas. Pero sa Candaba, since mababa ang Candaba at baybayin siya ng Pampanga River, so yung matarik, wala namang mataas na bundok doon sa Candaba. Pero lang sa Mount Arayat, of course, na malapit sa kanila. Pero marami doon ng mga hukay, kaya ang matarik sa kanila ay pababa. So, kumbaga, it is based on the geography and yung kung saang lugar man yun. Yung language din is a part of a culture, therefore is affected kung ano yung kanyang definition. So, culture has different models that we can explain. So first nating pag-uusapan is, take note of this again, bioecological system. So sabi ni Yuri Bronfenbrenner's, bioecological system of development use the biological, environmental, ecological lenses. So itong bioecological, tinitignan niya yung culture and the biological, yung tao mismo as biology, the environment, and the ecology. So, yun yung connection ng bawat mga organism sa isang community. So, this theory posits 5 specific system that shapes an individual. So, tandaan natin itong mga system na to. May iba't iba itong mga 5 system na i-discuss natin. The first system is the microsystem. So, yung microsystem are the institution and social group that the individual has direct contact. So, pag sinabi nating microsystem, ito yung mga talagang meron silang contact sa'yo, meron silang interaction sa'yo as a person. Kumbaga, directly sila na connected sa'yo as a person. So, for example, is your family, your friends or peers, your school, your religious institution, your immediate community are examples of microsystem. So, always remember, yung microsystem, direct contact. Mayroong direct contact yung individual. So, yung individual is our focus here. Next is the mesosystem. Mesosystem is the interconnection of the microsystem that we discussed a while ago. So, yung microsystem affecting the individual. So, for example, anong connection ng magulang mo sa peers mo, connection of your peers to your religion, peers to school. So, solid example nito is yung PTA or Parent-Teacher Association. So, yun yung mga mesosystem. So, connection ng 2 or 3 of the microsystems na directly pa rin involved sa isang individual. And the next is the exosystem. Hindi ito yung exo na kalaban ng BTS ha. Yan. So, exosystem is a social setting that the individual has no direct contact but affect his development. So, for example, ang exosystem is yung company kung saan nagtatrabaho yung magulang mo. So, kunwari yung company na yon nag-retrench siya, dahil dun sa retrenchment na yon nagsara yung company or nagkaroon ng closure, nawalan ng trabaho yung magulang mo. Dahil dun sa pagkawala ng trabaho ng magulang mo, nagkaroon ng effect sa'yo yun. Siyempre, yung economic growth ninyo, yung socio-economic status ninyo as a family was affected. So, yung mga bagay na yon are example of exosystem. Another example of exosystem is yung business. Hindi sila directly involved sa'yo, pero it can affect you indirectly dahil dun sa mga connected sa kanila na mga microsystems. Okay, next is macro system. Pag sinabi nating macro, kung yung micro is maliit, macro is big. Larger cultural context in which the individual resides in. So yan, kasama na dyan yung culture, kasama na dyan yung community nyo as a whole. So yun yung mga macro system natin. And then next is yung chrono system. So example is the pattern of environment and events. So kung titingnan natin yung macro system, balik tayo sa macro system. Philippines being a third world country is an example of a macro system na dahil third world country tayo, madalas nag-a-abroad yung mga tao and so on. So, nagkakaroon ng nawawalan ng mga magulang na nag-aalaga tuloy yung mga relatives. So, that's one of the example na yung Philippines being a third world country and ang pinakamalaki natin products are people itself, yung mga OFWs. So, isa yun sa mga nai-instill sa atin as a culture. And then, next is the chrono system, the patterns, dahil bakit kaya sa Pilipinas, ang tingin nila pag maputi, maganda. Aw, 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 aw. Aw, 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 aw. Ayan, binawalan ko na si Aw Aw. So, yan. Yung chrono system are patterns of environment events. So, for example, the pattern is we are colonized by the Spaniards and then we were colonized by the American, British for 3 years, and then by Japanese, and now we are colonized na hindi lang natin nakikita by other nations as well, no? So, ito mga social historical events. Kaya minsan yung mga Filipinos, yung culture natin, meron tayong tinatawag na mentality na, yan, colonial mentality na feeling natin pag stateside or imported, mas maganda siya. Wherein hindi naman talaga yun ang laging katotohanan. So, hindi naman porke made in the Philippines, hindi na siya maganda. Naalala ko nung mas bata ako, kapag sinabing local, ay made in China, local. So, kasi tinatag na pag made in China, low quality. Tapos, ang next, local lang siya. So, pag tinignan natin, mali siya politically kasi local means made in the Philippines, pero tinatag siya na low quality. So, yun yung mga chrono system na lumalaki. Saan tayo lumalaki? So, let's talk about this. Yan. So, this is you as the individual. So directly involved to you are microsystem, and then microsystem, mga microsystem natin like family, friends, peers, religious group, intertwined to each other are mesosystem, and then after mesosystem are exosystem. Yung mga exosystems are not directly involved to you, involved maybe to your mesosystem or your microsystem na mga like family, pero directly pa rin nakaka-apekto sa'yo. Yung macro system is the culture of the community and the chrono system is the culture of the socio-economic and socio-historical views of your world. So, yun siya. So, let's move on to yan. So, meron tayong tinatawag na, kung meron kanina yung ecological, ecobiological na views, meron tayong tinatawag na individual collectivism model. So, ang nag-propose naman nito ay si Hazel Rose Marcos and si Shinobu Kitayama. So, Marcos Kitayama para mas naaalala natin. So, individual collectivism model. Individualism as an orientation focuses on one's individual attributes and personal directiveness. So, may dalawang klase, yun nga, individualist at saka collectivist. In the Western world, mas individualist sila, meaning they're more focused on themselves and their individualism. Kaya makikita natin doon na hindi masyadong uso yung mga katulad natin mga extended family magkakasama sa isang bahay. Unlike in the Philippines, medyo nawawala na sa atin yun, pero still naka-instill pa rin sa atin yung collectivist wherein kumukuha ka ng isang course kasi gusto mong makatulong sa family mo. Ginagawa mo yung isang bagay kasi gusto mong makatulong sa komunidad mo. So every decision that you are making actually is affecting your community. So, hindi mo lang siya ginagawa because you wanted to. Parang kasi sa Philippines, pag ginawa mo yon or nag-decision ka for yourself, it's bad already. Pero, yung mga bagay na yon is actually just being individualist, meaning you are doing it because you know that is right for you, not because your parents wanted to. Kaya madalas yung mga courses na kinukuha natin. Kaya natin sila kinukuha kasi sinabi ng magulang, kasi sinabi na kapag kinuha mo 'to, mas mabilis mo matutulungan yung mga kapatid mo and so on and like that. So, in the hindi lang naman sa Pilipinas gano'n, makikita natin na culture siya in the Asia na yung mga Korean novelas din gano'n din yung mga ini-impose nila sa kanilang mga anak. Also, gano'n din yung ini-impose ng mga Thailanders and Indonesians. Kung titingnan mo kasi yung mga teledramas nila, yung mga kanilang mga dramas na pinapakita yan, yung mga series na pinapakita nila or pinapanood nila in the world, masisilip mo kung ano yung culture na meron sa kanila. So you will see that they're more collectivist. And the Western world naman, on the other hand, are more individualist. So I versus me, si Herbert Mead, self into two parts. So sabi ni Herbert Mead, merong dalawang parts ang self, si I at saka si me. Pag sinabi nating I for me, it's unsocialized self. So ito yung self mo without the barrier of other people, without the judgment of other people. Ito yung tunay na ikaw. And then in the socialized self is me, meaning who are you when you are with other people or when you are being pressured by the other influences in your surroundings. Kumbaga, ito yung Johari's window na merong unknown me, known me, unknown to others, known to others. Tapos yung isa naman is known to me, unknown to me. Tapos gagawa ka ng quadrants. So, yun yung medyo malapit siya dun sa sinasabi ni Herbert Mead. So, I is who you really are. You are your own opinion of yourself. Kung sino ka ba talaga based sa sarili mo, that is your I. And me naman is the awareness of how others expect to behave. So, yung I is, ano ka? Ano yung gusto mo talaga? Pero me is, um, kung ano ba talaga ano yung ina-expect nila sa'yo bilang ikaw ay isang, kunwari ako, I as a professional, I want to be like this and that. Pero may mga bagay na dahil they expect me to behave like that, napipigilan ako. So for example, my political views. I, being I, my own opinion, I am very vocal talaga kung ako ay bibigyan ng kalayaan. I am very vocal on saying what I believe in, especially on social media. Pero being me as a pastor, as a leader, as an educator that people tend to look up to me and I am influencing other people, I am expected to behave na kailangan kong i-filter, not to the point naman na nagiging plastic ako, pero wag masyadong marubdob yung aking damdamin na parang wag masyadong maging impulsive on posting on social media kasi it will affect many people kapag ginawa ko yon. So, kung iisipin ko lang yung I really want to post it. Pero, of course, being me, na knowing that many people are looking into me, many people are expecting me to be like that, nagkakaroon tuloy ako ng mga, ano yun, yung parang hindrances, pero hindi naman on a negative way, pero kumbaga, nare-regulate yung aking posting because of those matters. Okay. So let's move on to section 2. So section 2 will be the digital self. We will discuss and elaborate the different concept of social digital self, identify factors that influences one's online behavior, and analyze and evaluate social digital behavior, and identify ways to manage them effectively. So, the self in the age of technology. With the rise of technology, ways of socializing have significantly changed. I still remember when I was in elementary na nakakapag-write pa kami ng letters kahit na yung sinusulatan ko ng letter is just my classmate, my best friend. So, nagsusulatan pa rin kami ng letters. That's how we communicate to each other, even in high school. Though nung high school ako may Friendster na, I know hindi nyo na naabutan yung Friendster. Pero when I was in high school, Friendster ang way of communication, group text, doon na nauso yung mga unli text, yung mga GM, tinatawag na group message, yung mga clan, yung mga things like that. hindi niyo na sila naabutan. And then when I went to college, doon na uso yung Facebook. So, yung Friendster was phased out, na wala lahat ng memory ko sa Facebook, ay sa Friendster rather. And then, we migrated to different social media platforms like MySpace, um, yung mga yun nga, and then ang nanaig ay si Facebook na hanggang ngayon ay sikat pa rin siya 'no. So, it significantly changed. Before I do snail mail, kailangan pang pumunta sa post office, titimbangin nila yung letter ko kung gaano kabigat, minsan 3 pages yon. And then based dun sa bigat ng letter, they will they will charge me certain peso, tapos ididikit ko yung stamp, and then I will put it on the Dropbox, and then after a week matatanggap siya ng aking sinulatan, which is my best friend. So ganun yung communication before. But right now, it significantly changed na pag nag-post yung friend ko because she recently got married and she recently bore a child na nanganak siya, 'no. So, bagong panganak lang siya, 1 month lang yung baby niya. Ang bilis lang, magko-comment ka lang, one click, alam na niya kung ano yung nararamdaman mo. No need for you to go to the post office, no need for you to go and buy some stamps. So, yun. So, website and applications, as I said earlier, makes it easier to create and share information and share ideas and interests. So, dahil sa dahil sa pagbabago ngayon, nagkaroon na ng mga applications, minsan game siya pero at the same time social media siya, like yung Zepeto, isa yan sa mga social media platforms ngayon. Kumbaga may avatar ka and you can socialize with other people. You share information, ideas, and interests because of these websites and applications. So through social media, people may act differently since interaction in social media do not happen face to face. Kumbaga, kahit yung nangyayari sa atin ngayon is a change in our social digital self. Um, hindi ko kayo kilala, hindi tayo nagkita face to face. Maybe we saw each other face to face before. You're a graduate of senior high school in Systems Plus, but we do not have a direct interaction before. So, bigla na lang naging teacher niyo ako at naging digital teacher niyo ako, online teacher niyo ako. I do not see you face to face. I do not see you in person. But there is no physical presence required also. You just listen to me, na kumakatak ako for number of minutes, and then I'm hoping that you're learning, and I am just trusting you that you're listening to me. And then, because of the social media also, nagkakaroon ng tinatawag natin na online disembodiment. So, yung online disembodiment, it is creating a digital identity that is different to their real self. So, isang example nito is yung Instagram filters or yung mga nakikita nating mga video sa Facebook or maybe on others, on like in YouTube, na yung pinopost nila on social media is way different or the opposite of what is happening on their real lives. So, ito yung sinasabi nating online disembodiment, na you are telling the social media people that you are perfect, pero in reality, malayo doon kung ano talaga yung nangyayari sa buhay mo. So, merong incongruence na tinatawag, no? So, ano yung role identities? So, meron tayong tinatawag na digital identity and we have role identities. Characteristic and role of an individual creates as a member of a particular social group. So, meron kasi tayong mga role as people, as social media or netizens, meron tayong mga roles. So in the online environment, one's role identity is vitally important in order for him to protect himself in the said environment. So sometimes I am very careful on posting on social media. I am not really into posting my everyday life. I am not that kind of person na updating everyone kung ano na nangyayari sa buhay ko, ano ng status ng kwarto ko, ano ang status ng kung ano man sa buhay ko, nasaan na ako. But there are other people na ganun yung ginagawa nila, na talagang every now and then they're updating people, the netizens, their followers, kung nasan sila. And sometimes it posts harm and mga, yun nga, pwede siya maging cause ng mga stalkers and things like that. So, medyo delikado din siya. So, yung rule natin should be very, very clear to us. So online activities such as chats, videos, vlogs, online shopping would require us to establish a digital identity that we claim in the cyberspace and allows us to be a part of the virtual community that goes beyond physical and geographical boundaries. So for example is you have friends. Ako, nung college ako, may mga friends ako na from Dubai, tapos nag-video chatting kami. Actually, YM pa noon, hindi pa rin uso sa panahon ngayon, no? So, meron tinatawag na Yahoo Mail noon. Parang Facebook yon. And then, you will chat, meron ding emojis. Then, we chat, minsan, sobrang gabi na, kasi sobrang layo nung times ng Dubai sa Philippines. So, yun. And meron kang pinapangalagaan, meron kang tinatawag na digital identity. So, kumbaga, malalaman mo yung digital identity na yan if you will look in your social media account as an outsider. Kung titignan mo yung social media account mo, tanungin mo yung sarili mo, anong identity yung pinopost mo or anong identity yung pinapakita mo sa ibang tao na anong klaseng tao ka based on your postings. So, you see to yourself kung ano yung pinaportray mo na character sa inyong cyberspace. Our digital identity allows us to leave online footprints in the cyberspace. So, ngayon pa lang first year college kayo, I would like to reiterate this to you and assert this to you that human resource practitioners have their ways para makita kung ano man yung mga digital footprints natin in the cyberspace. Meron silang ways para makita kahit binura mo na yan. Makikita nila kung ano yung mga pinaggagawa mo in the past. So, be careful kung ano yung mga isi-share nyo kasi possible na magamit yan against you in the future. So, take for example, yung isa sa mga maingay ngayon na vloggers in Pampanga, di ba? Name Poknoy. Hindi ko alam kung nagpapapansin lang siya. Pero yung digital identity niya, hindi mo maintindihan kung ano ba talagang gusto niya. Social ba siya? Ano bang gusto niyang onyo ba siya? So, trying hard ba siya? Hindi mo maintindihan. Tapos parang tinatry ba niya na inisin yung mga tao? Sinasadya ba niya na magkamali para dumami yung views niya? Ano bang trip niya? Bakit pinagtitripan niya yung mga tricycle drivers and things like that? And then, pwedeng hindi nakikita ni Buknoy, maybe kasing idaran niyo si Buknoy, hindi nakikita ni Buknoy na magagamit yun against him in the future. So, do not be like Buknoy, okay? The posts that we make on social media can be linked, can be liked and shared, and become our digital identity. Natatandaan niyo yung mga pictures niyo way back nung kayo ay 'di ba naglalabasan ngayon yung si Susan Roses nung hindi pa siya nahihiyang magtanong, si James Reid nung hindi pa siya naniniwala sa forever, si Kim Chiu nung wala pang batas sa classroom. Yung mga pictures na luma, nakakalkal at dahil sa pagkakalkal, 'pag na-share yan o nilagyan lang ng app, nalalabas ulit yan sa newsfeed ta's nakakahiya, 'di ba? Ay, nasira yung pangalan mo. Dati ka palang maitim. Dati palang ganun yung itsura mo. So, yun. Sira tuloy yung identity mo ngayon. So, our participation in the digital environment may change our sense of self. Sometimes, may mga tao na nawawala na yung sense of self nila. Hindi na nila kilala yung sarili nila. So, sobrang pinifake nila yung kanilang digital identity. So, make sure that though I am not totally against you being nice on social media pero I would like to encourage you na maging congruent, meaning yung real self mo at saka yung social media self mo, hopefully hindi ganun kalayo para hindi ka mahirapan. Kasi psychologically, nagkakaroon din to ng effect. Kaya hopefully, wag naman sobrang layo nung digital self at saka nung iyong real self. So, people adopting to fake identities, ito may mga tinatawag na catfish na nag-engage in behavior that they will not do in real life. Yun nga, yung mga ginagawa silang mga kabalastugan on social media, nang i-scam, nang gagawa ng aagrabyado ng mga tao. Ito yung isang example ng online disinhibition effect, wherein hindi nila yung magawa sa real life, ginagawa nila on social media, lalo na ngayon, digital na rin yung payment. Nang i-scam sila, nang phishing sila, nang catfish sila. So may two categories ng behavior that falls under online disinhibition effect. Una yung benign disinhibition at yung pangalawa is toxic disinhibition. Yung benign disinhibition, ito yung mga tao tends to self-disclose more on internet than they would do in real life or go out of their way to help someone or show kindness. Meron akong kilalang ganito, classmate ko siya nung college. Very ano siya, very timid, very tahimik, mabait siyang tao. Pero nagulat na lang ako, in the past years, sobra talagang drastic nung change niya. Kumbaga, sobrang lahat ng parte ng life niya talaga dini-disclose niya sa social media na minsan parang sa mga nakakabasa, it's very uncomfortable na may dating na mayabang na gano'n. Tapos parang kapag merong mga nampupuri sa kanya, i-screenshot niya talaga. Tapos talagang, look at how great I am as a person and things like that. Parang nagpi-fish din ng mga compliments, gano'n. And then next naman yung tinatawag nating mga toxic disinhibition, yung mga trolls. People use rude language and bully, threatens other online, yung mga nang troll. Dilawan man yan or DDS, pero both of them have trolls, di ba? So, they're rude to each other. And they go to website and contents na may violence, pornography, may crime, mga deep web and things like na hindi mo naman pupuntahan kung wala kang digital identity. So, kumbaga, itong benign and toxic disinhibition, they're really bad to our mental health in the long run. So, why do they do this? Bakit nila ginagawa to? Bakit sila nag-engage to benign disinhibition and toxic disinhibition? There are a number of factors why people engage in disinhibition, pero one of which is anonymity, wherein naniniwala sila na hindi malalaman kung sino sila. So for example, yung mga tao na nag-order sa Shopee tapos inubos nila yung stock tapos di naman nila i-check out. Akala nila hindi matitrace, pero actually there are ways in the IT world wherein they can trace you. So careful tayo. Virtual invisibility, akala natin hindi tayo makikita, akala natin hindi mababasa, pero be careful also. Merong paraan para makita, mabilis mag-screenshot ngayon, mabilis makagawa ng kwento based on your screenshots. So, be very careful. Asynchronous communication, pwedeng hindi ka kaagad mag-reply, pwedeng wag ka munang titingin, i-zone mo muna. Asynchronous communication, hindi mo need mag-reply agad-agad. Kaya yung mga tao, they enjoy this na, okay, mag-isipan ko muna. Unlike in the face-to-face communication, hindi pwedeng hindi ka sumagot. Pag hindi ka sumagot, kumbaga, talo ka na, gano'n. Personal interjection. Minsan, yung mga sinasabi natin against other people, hindi natin nakikita. Interjection actually is a defense mechanism in psychology wherein yung sinasabi mo o yung kinaiinisan mo sa ibang tao is actually you. So, madalas, kung ano man yung inirereklamo mo to other people, it is actually you. So, be careful na baka ang kinaiinisan mo pala sa bandang huli, yung sarili mo. So, maging careful tayo dun sa mga pinopost natin as toxic and benign. So, managing our responsible online behavior, unang-una, do not post or send anything that will embarrass you. Do not send, guys, do not ask for things from your girlfriends, or girls, do not ask for things from your boyfriends that will embarrass you. Huwag kayong magsisend ng alam nyo na pwedeng kumalat. Madaling mang-hack ngayon. Huwag nyo silang isisend. Hindi yun sukatan ng pagmamahal. Also, do not post anything that will embarrass you. Kung alam nyo na yung classmate nyo, yung picture niya, hindi siya maganda, hindi maganda yung itsura niya, huwag nyong ipopost because it is embarrassing for them. Kung nasa lugar din nila kayo, ayaw nyong mangyari sa inyo yun. So, do not do that. Second is avoid posting statement that when experiencing strong emotions. So, for example, hindi mo pa talaga nabasa. Ito based sa experience ko to. Yung kapatid ko sa father side, ang lakas ng emosyon niya. Parang hindi daw siya mag-enroll this year kasi may face-to-face. Ako, dahil ang generation talaga namin, we tend to be very critical on reading things. Talagang on to the point talaga yung pagbabasa ko. Ang nabasa pa lang niya is face-to-face, MWF. Sabi niya, hindi ate, may face-to-face nabasa ko. Sabi ko sa kanya, binasa mo ba ang buo? Sabi niya, hindi. Tapos binasa ko sa kanya na buo. Hindi niya pala naiintindihan ng buo yung interim or yung guidelines ng school nila. Nag-react na siya kaagad. And agad na siya nag-post na against siya sa face-to-face, wherein wala namang face-to-face. Sino magmumukhang sorry sa term, sino magmumukhang tanga nun na nag-post ka ng ganito pero yung sinasabi pala ng post is not what you posted. Kumbaga maraming ganyan. Maraming mga tao ngayon mahina ang reading comprehension. Intindihin mo muna kung ano yung nasa post. Intindihin mo muna kung ano yung sinasabi nun. Comprehend it. Huwag mapadala sa emosyon. Kung hindi mo talaga kaya, magbilang ka muna ng 1 to 60 or maybe ipagpabukas mo muna pag lumipas na yung malakas na emosyon bago ka mag-post. Kung hindi mo talaga atim na hindi ka mag-post. Pero parang ano lang yan, huwag kang magdedesisyon, huwag kang online shopping pag sobrang saya mo. Kasi possible na mag-overspend ka. In psychology, do not make decisions when you are experiencing extreme sadness or extreme happiness kasi mapapahamak ka talaga. Ganon din sa posting sa social media. Number 3, do not hang out with wrong crowd online and offline. Pag yung mga nasa newsfeed mo, mga toxic and benign, malamang magkakaroon ka rin ng ganon. Ma-adapt mo yon. So, be careful. Be careful also dun sa mga hinahangout mo pag offline, di ba? Sabi nga, birds with the same feathers flocks together. So, careful tayo. Next is be careful with oversharing, especially confidential information. Example niyan is your cards. Huwag niyong ilalabas. Dapat tinatakpan nyo yung mga numbers. Tatakpan din natin yung mga bagay-bagay. Hindi na kailangan i-share. Huwag mo nang i-share. Kumbaga, tanungin mo muna yung sarili mo mga 10 times, bakit ko i-share to? Ano naman kung malaman nila na nandito ako or ganito or so far? Bakit? Ba't kailangan mong i-share yung mga bagay na yon? So, make sure to ask yourself 10 times before you share because they can be used irresponsibly. Tandaan mo, yung mga pictures, madali na ngayon mag-post. Kung baka yung picture mo, pwede na lang ilagay sa katawan ni Jennifer Lopez, tapos biglang sumasayaw-sayaw na, di ba? Ganun na katindi ngayon yung mga applications. So, be very careful on posting and respect other people in the online community. So, kung hindi kayo pareho ng paniniwala, hindi ibig sabihin mali na siya. Magkaiba lang kayo ng paniniwala. So, respect begets respect. Kung gusto mo respetuhin ka, respetuhin mo din yung paniniwala nila. Hindi porke hindi kayo pareho, mali na siya. Hindi rin porke hindi kanya kapareho ng sinasabi, mali ka na din. Okay. Section 3, mabilis lang to. So, it's about the material economic self. So, the self and the material world. Material possession signifies some aspect of one's sense of self and identity. So possession tells a lot about their owners, about the personality and social values of those who own them. So may mga tao talagang every now and then pag may lumabas na bagong cellphone, talagang aligaga. Kahit bago pa yung cellphone nila, bibili ka agad. So makikita mo doon kaagad yung personality ng tao na ay ano siya, yung gusto niya lagi siyang nakain, gusto niya lagi siya yung bida, gano'n. So may mga tao din na okay lang sa kanila kahit luma yung gamit nila. Basta for them, nagagamit pa rin nila. So, possessions are extended version of oneself. Sabi nga nila, makilaman mo daw kung yung lalaki marunong mag-alaga, kung maganda or malinis yung kotse nila. Kung yung kotse nila ay balahura, malamang hindi ka rin niya alam alagaan. Kung yung kotse nila ay malinis, marunong din daw siyang mag-alaga. Pero hindi lang ako sure doon. Tingnan mo din kung sa babae naman, kung yung bahay, yung kwarto niya maayos, maayos talaga siya. Pero kung maayos siya, sa mukha niya, yung kwarto niya mukhang dump site, kung plastic siya. Yan. So, next. Always remember, kapag bibili tayo or we're deciding on things, always think kung kailangan mo ba siya or gusto mo lang siya. Laging sinasabi sa atin to. Kung kailangan mo siya, hindi ka mabubuhay nang wala siya. 'Di ba? Kaya nga 'di ba, buhay ka pa kasi hindi mo naman talaga siya kailangan kahit iniwan ka niya. And then yung wants naman, kahit nandyan siya at wala siya, mabubuhay ka pa rin. Kumbaga, gusto mo lang. Iba yung kailangan sa gusto lang. Okay? So, isipin natin yan lagi kapag tayo bibili at mag-decide on things on our material world. Sabi nga ni Robert Barthes, studies semiology of the study of science. It is true object that people asserts their identities. Objects are not just things, but a reflection of the wider lives of communities and individuals. That is why sobrang uso ng mga imitation. Bakit nagkiklik yung mga imitation? Kasi semiology, study of science, kumbaga yung mga tao, lalo na in the culture of Kapampangan, kapag branded yung damit mo, parang feeling mo nas nakakaangat ka na. Wherein, it is not a matter of brand eh. Parang, kumbaga, feeling mo kapag may ganun tatak sa katawan mo, eh, nakakaangat ka na at mas okay ka than other people. So, we acquire things considering two things generally. First is utility and significance. Utility, pag sinabi natin utility, is the practical purpose, practicality of of what we are purchasing, and then significance is the meaning assigned to the object. So yung utility, kailangan mo talaga siya kasi practicality wise kailangan mo siya. Yung significance naman ay kaya ito madami sa mga babae, daming may significant na mga bagay. Ay, ako kasi ano te, binigay ni ganito, ganyan, ganyan. Kaya hindi makapag-let go. Diba? Kahit na wala na siyang utility, wala na siyang practical purpose. So, utility is above significance. Okay. So that's the end of our discussion for today. Um, Again, I would like to remind you that after this is our prelims. So we will be discussing. We discussed already module 1, 2, 3. So we discussed the self, unfolding the social self, and unfolding yung biological self. So lahat ng mga yon scope sila ng exam. I will be posting the exam scope, also pointers to review, not the exam itself, but pointers. So, and other things about our exam. So, I'll see you again next time. Kung may mga questions kayo, I hope that you will be asking me about it. So, hindi ako nagpakita ngayon dito sa video na to kasi I am not feeling well. So, hopefully magkita tayo sa synchronous class na lang. Thank you!